What's going on? It's Average THC guy, and today we're going to be telling a very weird story. This is a story of the time I thought weed had given me COVID. This is the only time I've ever gotten COVID in my life, so I'm just going to tell you the story. And yeah, so this story takes place. It starts the day after my getting high at church story, like the very next day. So our teacher had planned this like spring break dinner party for us before our senior trip. So our senior trip was that week, but Marshall wasn't going. And so me and Marshall decided to go together, and she was making like lasagna or something, and she had like hella soda, so I was just drinking that because I wasn't really hungry. And so we were the only ones to even show up, and I don't even think it was Marshall's idea, so I don't know what the fuck was up with that. And it was just weird because, like, Marshall knows her family, but I only really know her. Let's call her Miss Veronica. So yeah, we're at Miss Veronica's house. I only really knew her. I never met her husband or her kids, and so I'm just kind of hanging out there, just like, okay, what do I do? So Marshall finishes up, and I take some of this lasagna home, and then we were pretty close to our new smoke spot. Now, this one will be appearing a lot in our stories, and we had just gotten it, and I I think we had only really smoked my new bong there. So yeah, I'll tell that story sometime soon. It's the first time hitting the bong. And so we go there, and he tells me he has some Gorilla Glue. Now, he had given me purple Gorilla before, but Gorilla Glue sounded exotic, and it smelled fucking gassy. So we decided to spark it up. So he rolls a king palm for us. I think he got his new roll tray at that point. And then we smoke it actually in his car. I don't know why we did that, but we did. And as I smoked it, I maybe took like a couple of puffs off this thing. And I threw up while in his car. So this this is also the second funny part is no puke got on his car, thank God. It just got all over my fucking shirt. Sorry guys, my voice is hoarse and I've been coughing, not only because I just recorded 2 videos, but also because I've been fucking smoking. So, fucking carts, man, they hit, I don't know why. But anyway, so we get finished smoking this joint and he takes me back. And I'm having to fucking maneuver my way into the house because this was like 0 hour. I swear to God, probably like the next day or something, Dad found out I had smoked weed. So I was still hiding from it. And me having to explain why I was covered in vomit, I could have just said, "Hey, I got sick, I threw up, I need to go lay down." That probably would have worked, but I just decided to avoid him as much as possible and get into some new clothes. And so the next day came around, and I remember I was in bed and I was feeling sick. And this was Tuesday, and I don't think we left for our senior trip until Thursday. But then on Wednesday, I got like really sick. I couldn't leave my bed. I was both like hot and cold, even though my room was freezing. And I like I genuinely felt like I was dying. Like I felt like I had been fucking spring locked or something like that. It felt that bad. And Dad kept coming in to check on me and bringing me food and stuff. And so I was genuinely scared for my life. So other than that, I wouldn't have done this because my dad is a doctor. So I just had to play it straight with him because a couple weeks earlier, I think it was like March 3rd or 4th, um, I had gone up to hit my bong with Mason and in where he lives. And I came back and Dad went to put something in my car and he thought it smelled like marijuana. So he asked me, "Your car smells like marijuana." And then I'm like, "Yeah, I know Marshall's into all that, but it wasn't me." And he was like, he asked me directly, "Have you been smoking marijuana?" And I said, "No." And it felt bad lying to him, but at this point, I just needed to come clean. So I said, because if this shit was laced, could have made me sick and I could die. So I'm like, Dad, you asked me if I had been smoking marijuana. I had, and now I'm scared that I smoked some bad shit and it made me sick. And Dad was like, no, I don't think anything like that happened. And then he got, and so I couldn't go on the senior trip unless I wore a mask the whole time, which fuck that noise, especially since I'm sick. So I just decided to not go, and so then Dad got it as well. So we were just stuck at home together. And then um at the end of the week, I got the famous, Dad finds out his kid smoking weed. He says the old, It's a gateway drug." You know, I had friends who did it who never really amounted to anything because that's all they wanted to do. Don't let it lead to anything else. Keep your grades up. And so he had been suspicious of me for the next couple months, and I had to keep hiding it from him. But once we got to like June, he pretty much kind of chilled out on it. So yeah, so we were just kind of stuck there for a week. So my spring break was spent mostly sick, and I couldn't have any friends over or anything like that. So that was pretty much it. So yeah, that's the time I thought weed had given me COVID. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.